welcome to Cooking with the Stars. Here we have cornflakes. They are made of cooked corn, making a thin layer that is then broken and recooked. They are seasoned with barley malt. They are important in our diet. Do you know why? Because they are mainly fiber, which helps the body process and get rid of other waste in the body. Marmalade also contains a lot of fiber.
If you want to have a perfect wheat and stiff, you should keep fat out of the cooking instruments. They have to be very clean. It is important to use metal or glass bowls because plastic is very porous. Yolk must not mix with the white because the fat in the yolk will ruin the stiff. We should separate the yolk from the white when the egg is cold.
Bye, Chuck.
We should start slowly so no big bubbles are formed. A perfect beaten stiff.
Dehydrated garlic, onion or banana can recover their shape, and how? We know that 90% of the mushrooms contain water, so if we take all this water out of them, they would dehydrate, thus losing their shape. The same happens with the garlic. So that they can recover their shape, we have to put them into water or wine for an hour. And here I have dehydrated garlic, which I will put into water later, and it will recover its shape. The same happens with the fruits and vegetables. Why the eggs are avoided, and there are many reasons. The first one that I will mention is because if they are more circular, they would be more likely to roll out of the nests. Instead, they have this shape so as to prevent that. Another reason is that if they are this shape so as to make it easier for the chicken to push it out. And finally, the third reason that I will mention is that when we put them into the freezer, and we put the peak downwards, it will prevent the yolk from catching bacteria.
Emulsion is a mixture of two or more liquids that are normally not mixing. The perfect example for emulsion is mayonnaise. Well, for making mayonnaise, you need a large egg yolk, lemon juice, salt, and oil. Well, you have to combine the egg yolk with the lemon juice. And 2 teaspoons of salt. Salt. And mix until it's blended and bright yellow. Then, using a quarter of teaspoon measure, you have to add a quarter of oil. and few drops at a time. So, well, about for 4 minutes. Well, now I pass to the other one. Well, there you have the mayonnaise. And it is an emulsion because lemon juice and oil are not common mixed, but the yolk acts as an emulsioner and mixed the two ingredients.
A top lettuce leaf will wither faster than the complete lettuce leaf because this one has more exposed places from where water can live. They have both been outside the fridge for 2 hours and we can see the results.
So here are the eggs. Today we will boil John. It is really important to put the eggs in cold water so the temperature rises gradually. So in this way the egg doesn't crack and the air leaves the egg slowly. It should boil for around 10 to 15 minutes maximum.
To see if an egg is boiled or not, we should make them turn. If it turns, it is cooked, and if it doesn't turn, it is raw.
It changes color when cooked because the sulfur and iron the egg contains combine and make iron sulfur.
Hi people, my name is Santiago Molina and I'm going to answer a question which is very common among people nowadays, but not so many know the answer to this question. The question is, can vegetables be freezed at our freezers? And I'm going to show you an example. Well, here I have some lettuce and some carrots which are freezed. We can eat these vegetables after being freezed. We can cook them, but if we will eat them raw, there's a little problem. The problem is the speed of the freeze. If we will eat vegetables which were fried at much more faster speed that when we are slower, they will be taste better and they will be easier to cook. But if the vegetables were cooked at a slower freeze, they will break the ice in the freeze will break the cell vegetables and it will make them to not taste so well and they will break them easily. Well, I hope this answer was very good for you and if you want to cook this after being freezed, there is no problem. The problem is when you want to eat it raw after being freezed. If you want, I recommend you to eat vegetables when we are freezed at much faster speed and even more than the ones we were freezed at much lower freeze. Well, so these ones were reached at an industrial process.
Well, top lettuce leaf will wither faster. Top leaf, no.
Decí que soy su ayudante.
¿Cómo se dice ayudante?
Helper. Assistant.